Hi there. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are at the moment and when you're watching this video. This is the second episode of Forever in Love. And in this second episode, as most have seen in the title, we are focusing on communication. Communication, I can say, accounts for maybe 90% or even 95% of the conflict, marital conflicts. So it is very important that we talk about communication. And we're emphasizing speaking with clarity and listening with empathy. And the skills that can help our communication, we're going to discuss in the end, and then we're going to talk about and suggest some couple exercise and the episode challenge. Now, so again, in this video, we are focusing on why communication breaks down a lot of time in our marriage, and how couples talk past each other, and how we can help mitigate those issues or those mistakes by bringing in some communication skills. And the goal actually is not that we should speak more, but that we should speak better. That's what we're suggesting in this video. And communication is very important. Why is that so? Most marital conflicts are communication based, as I said earlier. 2, unspoken expectations create resentment. When you're not communicating your concern, you're likely going to be harboring bitterness towards your spouse. And then 3, healthy communication builds, a calm and safe home environment, and that makes it a wonderful home for your children as well. Let me kind of emphasize something that's very important. We can instruct our children about how we think they should be speaking. But the truth is that they actually learn communication by observing how we communicate. They learn that passively, and they will communicate the way we communicate with each other. And so it is important to model the communication skills and emotional intelligence that we want them to demonstrate. There are some common mistakes we make, and I'm going to mention 4. Assuming instead of asking. Assuming that they know, he should know. He knows what he's doing. He's just pretending. No, they might not know. Tell him, tell her, these are the things that I've observed and I'm not happy about them. Of course, we're going to talk about communication skills, about how to go about it shortly. And the other problem that tends to come up, or mistake that tends to come up in communication, as you must have observed, is interrupting or defending too quickly. Okay, that doesn't help. And then also using harsh or absolute language, harsh words, something you don't, a kind of expression you wouldn't want to be used for, you don't use it. That's the golden rule, isn't it? Matthew chapter 7, verse 12. And also, absolute language is things like, you always do that, you never listen to me. All those always, never kind of language, avoid them. We are suggesting strongly that you avoid them from today. And avoiding difficult conversation is a big mistake. So it's better to speak rather than being, passively aggressive. And so that's and words are so important. Shirley, what do you want to say about that?
Yeah, do you know what shaped the home? It is simply because tone matters as much as content. The tone with which we speak, it matters a lot, as much as what we wanted them to say. Children absorb communication patterns. Okay, like my husband mentions that wherever communication pattern skills we want to model, we want to see in our children, we model it. It's not enough to just tell them don't talk like that, but we model it. So children absorb communication patterns the way we speak, they learn from it. In fact, generally children learn by observing more. Okay, so also respectful speech models emotional intelligence. We need to be respectful in the way we talk, no matter what, no matter the circumstance. Respect is very important. Safe words create safe places. If we want our home to be safe, then we need to be careful with the use of words, the use of language. We need to speak safely. We need to be mindful of what we say.
And just to speak a bit to the issue of tone, for instance, you can tell somebody, "I love you." It's a very wonderful statement. If that's the tone I've just used, and that tone is "I love you." You can see there's a difference. You get what I mean? So you can say something very, like very important, and because of the tone you use, the person doesn't even listen to you.
Yeah.
So we want to go to the communication skills that we are suggesting today, and my wife is going to start by talking about speaking to be heard.
Yeah, very important skill. How do we speak to be heard? I'll mention 4 things. Be clear and specific. Go straight to the points, and be clear about it. Number 2, address one issue at a time. There is a tendency that one issue will now bring up some other issues. Don't fall for that. Let's be intentional. Address one issue at a time. Number 3, express feelings, not accusation. Oh, I feel I'm hurt. I feel this is not right. Rather than, oh, you're hurting me. You're doing the wrong thing, accusation, pointing the finger.
This is how what you did makes me feel.
Yeah.
Rather than, why did you do this? You did that.
So express the way you feel. That way, the other person will get the message without being defensive. Number 4, use calm and respectful tone. This is coming up again. We've mentioned it before. Tone is very important in communication.
And of course, the Bible says a soft answer turns
Get away,
away
rat.
away wrath.
All right. So, what are some helpful language shifts? We're going to suggest about 4 helpful language shifts. You know, language patterns, speaking patterns that can help us in our relationships. Number 1, use I feel instead of you always. I feel, I think, rather than pointing to the other person. Number 2, replace blame with curiosity. Like, become curious. Why does this person always do this? I want to know, so that it's good you understand, and that will also help to communicate it better. In a more logical and sensible way. Number 3, focus on solutions and not faults. All right. Even if you want to bring up a matter, it's not to accuse the other person, it's for solution. You focus on it. How can we resolve this? How can we do better? And number 4, speak with kindness, even in disagreements. Speaking with respect, speaking with kindness, very important. When we are, of course, it's very common when we disagree, or we are in conflict. It's common to want to just speak harshly to hurt the other person. But let's be intentional. Let's be conscious of that, and deliberately speak with kindness, and be mindful of what we say.
Yes, like we said in the first video, the Bible says we should say the truth in love. So you don't just say, "Oh, I always say my mind."
Yeah.
Be kind, be respectful, because you want your spouse to be respectful to, also when they speak to you. So the second aspect, we talked about speaking, to be heard, and my wife has suggested an excuse that will help your spouse to hear you when you're speaking. Now, how can we listen to understand, which is a very important skill, listening to understand. One, avoid preparing your response while the person is speaking or while you're listening. Don't be listening to, to respond. Listen to understand first. There's a feeling that, oh, I need to quickly, prepare my response. But it is not a helpful one. And of course it's not a real anxiety that you're not going to know what to respond when they finish speaking. The truth is, if you listen carefully to understand, you will definitely have a response when they finish talking. So don't worry about what am I going to say, what should my response be. It's not a battle, it's not like a fight or a competition. And then listen without interrupting. Just listen carefully and seek meaning. Don't focus on the mistakes they are making. Oh no, that's not what I did. No, you're getting me wrong. Just listen. Just listen and try to understand what they are saying. Seek meaning instead of mistakes. And then validate their emotion. Even if you disagree with what they might have gotten you wrong. Maybe they are completely wrong. But first of all, acknowledge that person's emotion. Validate it. I can see what happened actually pains you. And then they'll say, yes, I'm really pained by it and all of that. Or I can see you look really frustrated or disappointed. Just validate that emotion that you can see before you then say, however, actually, that was not what happened. And then you can explain. We want to suggest some 4 active listening skills that can be very helpful, can make a difference in your relationship going forward. First of all, maintain eye contact. Have you maybe experienced it in your relationship that when someone is talking, maybe your spouse is talking, and maybe you're looking at your phone and you're talking back, you're saying, well, that was not what happened. And then you're looking at your phone, or maybe you're looking at something, or maybe you're looking at what you're cooking. Maintain eye contact. And then number 2, reflect back what you hear. Just like those, customer service staff speak to you when you speak to them on the phone and you're telling them the issues you have with your subscription or whatever. They will reflect back. They will say, Mr. So and so, if I heard you right, you said this. Do it in your home as well. It's very powerful. So because the person now knows that you actually heard them because you're reflecting back so that's what we call reflective listening. 3, ask clarifying questions. Is that what you meant? Oh, I didn't understand what you said about this. Could you please explain to me? Did you mean this? Try to seek understand. The person will be happy that you want to listen to them. And then, fourthly, acknowledge emotion, as we said earlier. At the end of all the clarification, okay, I can see why you feel so hurt, and then you can then provide your own answer. But sometimes conversation can still escalate. This one is the other. What would you suggest, Sherry?
Yeah, I'll suggest 4 practical steps you can take when conversations escalate. Number 1, recognize emotional flooding. Recognize the fact that, oh, this is escalating. Emotions are high now. Number 2, you pause instead of pushing through. Instead of wanting to have your way, instead of wanting to forcing to be heard, pause. Okay. Number 3, agree to resume later. Okay, excuse yourselves, calm down, then you agree to come back to the matter later. And number 4, protect respect at all costs. Again, we are mentioning that respect, very, very important. And also we want to suggest some 5 LD conflict rules. All right. Number 1 is no insult or name calling. When there's emotions like that and communication escalates, no insult or name calling. Number two, no silent treatment. I've had couples keep malice for weeks, some even said months. I don't know how that is possible actually. Call it passive aggression. That doesn't help, all right? It's not healthy.
So they live with each other like roommates, just come in, do things, and get out and come back in.
Yeah, that's not good enough. Number three, stay on the topic. All right. Whatever is causing the issue, whatever is causing the conflict, stay on it and try as much as possible to resolve it. Number four, aim for understanding, not winning. Not winning the arguments. It's not a battle, all right? Aim to be understood. And number five, aim for reconciliation if resolution is difficult. There are times when it's not possible to resolve the matter, probably because of different views, different backgrounds, and so many other things like that. It might be difficult to resolve, but then reconcile. So far, that matter will not call it. It's not something that is dangerous, that impacts each other's well-being. Just reconcile and move forward.
Yes, reconciliation is very important. And we are ambassadors of Christ. We have been given the ministry of what? Reconciliation. So reconciliation is non-negotiable. Rick Warren said it, and I never forgot to the author of Purpose-Driven Life. But again, there can be real conflicts, and we really did not have a nice time with each other for whatever reason. We need to aim to kind of repair. Don't just, resume business as usual. Sit down and try to repair your relationship when things have gone wrong. 4 things you can do. Number 1, apologize sincerely to the person. Don't just say sorry. Say it more clearly. Let them know that you are truly sorry. Be sincere. And then acknowledge the hurt that has been caused, what you said, and how you think that might have affected their emotion, and apologize for that. And then reaffirm your commitment to make things work. And lastly, learn from the disagreement together and see it as an opportunity to learn. Like you said in the first video, that conflicts are opportunities for learning, opportunity for growth, opportunity to become even better. And don't see conflict as a negative thing. Of course, we're going to be talking about conflict in the next video. So let's just leave that into there. Watch out for that.
And sometimes don't avoid it, because that will lead to now, when there is now something, you now be referring to those stuff.
Because you didn't talk about them when they happened. Yeah. So let me give you an example of how to apologize or acknowledge. You can say something like, I'm sorry. I, can see that you were upset by what I said. So you can see different from sorry, and it's different from I'm sorry. The person is even saying why they are sorry. All right. And then you now make a commitment, something like, next time I will phrase it differently. That's not how you will say that the person is still thinking you didn't mean what you said. So communication matters a lot. To help you understand better, we made this animation. Just watch the animation and we'll come back in a moment.
You're late again. You always do this.
I said traffic was bad. What do you want me to do about it?
You never think about how this affects me.
That's not true. You're overreacting, as usual.
See? You're not even listening.
Because nothing I say is ever enough for you.
Kunle, when you came home late today, I felt anxious and unimportant. Can we talk about how to manage this better?
I hear that you felt neglected. That wasn't my intention. Traffic delayed me, but I should have called.
Thank you for saying that. I just need reassurance, not perfection.
That's fair. Going forward, I'll send a message if I'm running late. Does that help?
Yes, it does. I appreciate you listening.
Thank you very much for watching that. I hope that was helpful. And that's really a practical example of the message we're trying to pass across.
Now, in terms of the couple exercise, choose one recurring conflict that you've noticed. Maybe it's about money, about intimacy, about whatever, that you've noticed tend to come up recurrently in your relationship or in your marriage. And then practice speaking to be heard, as we've suggested today as a skill. And then practice listening to understand. So discuss with each other and try to put these skills that we've suggested into practice, and then reflect on what feels different now compared to how you've been communicating before. Subscribe. As soon as the video drops, you'll be notified. So that's one of the reasons why you need to subscribe. Subscribe rather. And Sherry, what do you want to say before we end?
Like and share this video with your loved ones. Thank you very much
Other
for listening.
couples, your friends, I'm sure they'll be saying thank you after watching the video. Thanks so much. We wish you the best in your marriage, and we wish you heaven on earth relationships. Bye.
Bye.